my coach John Kavanagh, he told me about the chance for PFL, and I was like, John, I'm coming to win this million. There's no way about it. Like, I know I'm only a little rookie at the minute in terms of PFL, but I'm coming to win that million, guaranteed. And John was like, I know you are. Like,
the AllStar app, the #1 app in the business. UFC, Bellator, One Championship, PFL, and more. Get the app right now. Link in description. The first thing I want to jump into is your debut for PFL, which was
yeah,
last summer, right in August,
yeah.
in the playoffs. You got a pretty decent win right there, man. Just take us back to that moment and just making your debut and on that stage.
Yeah, it was actually it was mental because I got told I was like the day before the fight that I was going to be on the opening of the main card on ESPN. So that was surreal to me in a way. You know what I mean? Because I thought I was just going to be a part of the European card, which was going to be after the main event and stuff like that. So I was kind of just expecting and preparing for that mentally, and then you know what I mean. Like it wasn't that like I was excited to be on it, but then when I heard I was on the ESPN main card, I was just like, holy fuck, I need to bleed. I need to make sure I perform now, you know what I mean? Because I knew it was going to be like however many hundreds of thousands watching me. And I don't know, I promised all the lads from PFL, I was like, giving me this opportunity is definitely going to be worth your while, and I'm not going to let you down. So I think I had that in the back of my head, and I was just proper eager to make a good impact and get my name out there and gain some new fans and put on a good fight for everyone. And I did just that. You know what I mean? I knew full well that if I went out and performed the way I knew I could perform, I could beat him. Initially, I thought it might have been a 3 round war because he was very tough. From what I've seen before from his other fights, but I have good power in my hands. I have sharp grappling, so I was like, if I hit him hard enough and I make him, if I don't knock him out, he's going to end up wanting to grapple me, which I'm ready for. And I counter grappled him, took his back, choked him out for 1 round. You know what I mean? It was class. Honestly, I can't even explain it. Like just from being like from being a kid, I was dreaming about being a fighter and stuff like that, and then you're opening up main cards for like the likes of Ryan McDonald, people I would have like looked up to growing up as a kid. Like I was that's surreal to me, and it was a nice taste of the real pro life. You know what I mean? So I was just ecstatic that I got that chance, and like I said to the lads on like PFL, I was like, I'm gonna prove that giving me this chance and put me on this main card was worth it, and I came out and I think I did just that.
Yeah, definitely you did that. And some people might take that anxiety, that energy, and it could overwhelm them, but you took that energy and just went in there and just took out your opponent like it was nothing, man. It was like you were born for that moment, huh?
Yeah, man. Like I have this whole concept of like anxiety and nerves and stuff like that because I think when you're excited or nervous, it's the feeling is the same. It's just about how you distinguish it between your minds. You know what I mean? So when I was there, I remember I was behind the screen now just before my name got called out, and I was standing behind. I had a bit of the butterflies and stuff. I took a deep breath and I said, you know what, Nate, you deserve to be here. You know what I mean? This is where you belong. So once I said, yeah, I deserve to be here, and something just switched to me, and then I went in. I just had a feeling my opponent was a bit nervous. I was getting nervous energy off him. The day or so before at the way in and around the hotel and stuff like that. Whereas I don't know what it is. I just don't give it. Pardon me, French. I don't give a shit about half the thing. I just enjoy it all for what it is. You know what I mean? I enjoy all the nerves, the excitement, the adrenaline, and all. This is what I always wanted to do since I was as young as I can remember. You know what I mean? So I enjoy every moment for what it is, and I just felt like I deserve to be here, and I'm just gonna go out and let all that energy come out of me in the positive way on the night. And there's like certain factors in it. Like even though I was in the changing room, in the warm up area when we were warming up, and like Rory McDonald was there, Farasa Habby was there watching, and like I said, I would have been a big fan as a kid. Of like GSP would have been my favorite fighter and stuff like that. So to see like his coach there and he was watching me, and I felt sharp in the warm up, and everything was popping, everything was real smooth and stuff. And I know Fraz was kind of like looking at me from the corner of his eye, and I'd spot him looking at me every now and then even I was saying to one of my teammates after that, I was like, "Was he? Do you reckon he was looking at me there?" And Dad was like, "Ah, you fucking was all right." And then after I won, when I came back up to the changing room, he went out of his way to nod at me. I walked over, I shook his hand. He's like, "That was a great performance, kid." So I was like, that's a little highlight in itself as well. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I had this whole thing. You can be nervous and let it ruin your performance, or you can be let it see it as excitement and let it fuel your performance. You know what I mean? So I had all them things in the back of my mind going into it. So it worked out well in the end. Like
Have you always been like that throughout your career, or is it something that you've built up to this point? Like you learned to control it?
at the start, you know what I mean. I would have been well. Funny enough, my first ever amateur MMA fight, I wasn't one bit nervous. I was really determined to win because I was 17 when I had my first fight. I was fighting like a 25-year-old or something like that. So in my head, I was like, I'm gonna need to go out and beat this fella. You know what I mean, he's older than me, all that jazz. So I was really determined. Then you scale up the level and there's different opponents, more experienced opponents. Some lads who I was gonna obviously have a harder fight against and stuff like that. And they're the kind of ones that you know what I mean, that you need to dig deep in. I remember when I was 18, I had fought for my first regional amateur title. I was 18 and I fought a 30-year-old, you know what I mean? And this lad had been fighting since I started, you know what I mean? So he had way more experience than I had. So that when I was a bit nervous, but it was my preparation. Like my preparation in itself is like once I know I prepare 100% and I give everything, it makes it a slight bit easier on yourself when you get in there because you know that you've done everything you can, and it's just about getting in and doing what you've been doing for the last like 8 weeks or so in the gym, and just believing in yourself. You know what I mean? But it took a bit of practice. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go in and say, oh, I was this, I was that for every fight, but you know what I mean. It took a bit of practice. Like it's not. I know it's a long journey. This game. You know what I mean? This will be my 13th year training martial arts. So you know what I mean. Over these 14 years, I finally built myself up to this level where I can distinguish between actual nerves or excitement or whatever it is, and it's all about how you perceive it, and I just choose to perceive it all as excitement because it is exciting. We're stepping in, we're going toe to toe, we're going traveling to different countries. Like what about that is not exciting? You know what I mean? So I perceive it a different way as what I maybe would have when I was a kid or when I was a young teenager, late teenager. But it's all a part of the game. I compete jiu-jitsu. I compete like I've been competing since I'm a kid. You know what I mean? So it's all familiar. The processes are all familiar, and I just enjoy it, man. So you can make or break some people, but I let it make me. You know what I mean?
You're still young, but you've had an interesting career so far. You started your professional career with two straight losses, and MMA is such a tough sport, man. It's a sport that is so unforgiving. Not many people are gonna really support a career in fighting, right? Around you. You got your family and stuff like that, but most people wouldn't support it. How did you keep pushing even after the losses? Because the losses can hit you really hard.
Yeah, I was actually that would have been like me before. Actually, I was a young enthusiastic. You know what I mean? Young fella, and you always have this dream of you know um having a perfect record, having everything go smooth, everything like that. And I just, I don't know. I think I just got deflated so much after the first two losses. Obviously, my first fight, I should have bet that guy. You know what I mean? I just got caught with I got caught with a spinning back elbow at the start of the fight, and it just turned around upside down for me. Like I recovered, I took us back. I'm great from the back, as you know. Like I took us back twice, but I just could not get myself together. And then he ended up getting the TKO later in the round. The second one I lost by split decision, which I felt I could have won. You know what I mean? And it was really hard to take. But I don't know. I just something about the second loss. The first loss I took very hard, but and I almost kind of like lost sight of myself after that one. You know what I mean? But the second loss, because of how close I was and whatever was going on in my head, I was just saying to like, what am I doing wrong here? You know what I mean? And I decided to move up a weight because I used to fight a bantamweight, and the weight cuts used to destroy me. You know what I mean? I used to be a bad out process of make weight. I'm not saying I I don't think I made weight technically right all the time because I did it all myself. So maybe a bit lack of knowledge kind of didn't swing things in my favour. But I just said, you know what, I'm gonna move up a different weight class. I want to be strong. I want to, because when I was training for fights at bantamweight, I hated the training. There was not. It was all lose weight, lose weight, lose weight. I wasn't build skill, and when I moved up to featherweight, then I was like, you know what? I don't have to put the pressure on myself to make weight because I know I'm going to make weight regardless. So let's build up the skills. Let's be strong. Let's be powerful. And ever since I did that, going into that first fight at featherweight, I went in like a lead and demented psychopath. I was going, I cannot lose this fight. You know what I mean? This is make or break me. I can't go 0-3. You know what I mean? So I went in there as if like my life depended on it. And every single fight then I've had after that, I've had that same approach that like kill or be killed. Like we cannot come out here without a win, and it's working for me. You know what I mean? I'm going in with confidence, power, um, and just enjoying me training as well, which is the big one. You know what I mean? If you're going into it a happy fighter, you'll be a dangerous fighter. And I just felt when I was fighting at bantamweight, I just wasn't enjoying the process of fighting and stuff like that, and it was really weird on me and stuff like that. But now I'm at the moving up a weight class. I'm on a 6 fight win streak. You know what I mean? And I think I just had to dig deep within myself and unlock a little bit more of myself. You know what I mean? By tapping into myself a bit more psychologically, and you know what I mean. Don't get me wrong. The first two losses broke me down a lot, so I had to build myself back up a lot. And when I took a little break for a while, like I realized how much I missed fighting and how much it was a part of my DNA, how much it was a part of my personality. So when I went back fighting, then I felt like I had a lot to prove. All the years of hard work I put into this has to amount to something. You know what I mean? So I haven't been training since I'm a kid with this dream for this long, just to throw it all away because I'm not feeling up to it. You know what I mean? So I came back with I vowed to myself, to my family, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make this for us. And like you said, you know what I mean. There's not a lot of support. Like, obviously, my family and my friends support me, and maybe throughout the years they didn't. You know what I mean. You don't really know how good someone is or if someone's actually gonna make it. But over the last, I left my job at the start of last year and committed to this full time. And it's like now everyone's really saying, like you're actually going somewhere with this, you know what I mean? And luckily PFL signed me up and I'm getting the chance to show it now on their platform.
Definitely, man. Yeah, you've won 6 straight, and one of the fights that sticks out to me is the win over Shamrock, because he's
Yeah,
a name that I've heard for a while, man. He was like one of those prospects that everyone was talking about, and you went in there and did your thing against him, man. Was that the best win for you, or was another win on that streak better than that?
yeah, that was a nice win, man, because he was like that. He was very built up. He was the next big thing to come out of the UK, and yeah, there's a funny backstory to that because me and Shem actually trained together in SBG, and then he went somewhere else, and I was actually training in that place as well. I was in Muay Thai club, so I trained with him for a bit, and I had to win. I had to fight to get out of Ireland. I would have had to fight on this show and win. He had the title and win this title, and I was, yeah, I was. You know what I mean? I didn't know what way to take. I was like, fuck it. Like I was talking to my coach. I was like, initially I got offered the fight and I was like, look, I'm training with him, be a bit awkward, like blah blah blah. And then I won my fight in the first round in 9 seconds. You know what I mean? And then the lads are like, all right, we need you to fight. We want you to fight for this title. We think it'll be a good scrap and all that jazz. So I just talked to my coach. I just said, you know what, fuck it, I'll do it. You know what I mean? I was like, if I wanna get out and fight in the big shows, who am I to be turning down fights and regional shows in Ireland? Do you know what I mean? So I felt like I owed it to myself to go out and prove that I'm the best in Ireland to then get myself into the more international shows. And you know what I mean? Just so happens I took the fight. I went in, I felt fresh, felt confident, and I did my thing, and I ended up TKOing him in the first round. So everything that was like I was the underdog on in there. I was essentially meant to lose, and I wore all that on me back, and I went in and I put him away in the first round just to prove how good of a fighter I am.
Now you got this fight on March 3rd, PFL Challenger Series. Zachery Hicks. Tell me about him, man. What do you know about him? What do you think of his style?
Yeah, I've only looked at a few clips. I don't dive too much into it. You know what I mean? But his fights are recent enough, so you can kind of get a good aspect of what he's gonna bring. He obviously seems solid. You know what I mean? He's good, like looks strong, like a wrestling kind of style background. But like I think he's ready. He has a lot of. He just does the basics. You know what I mean? I don't think there's too much about him technically. You know what I mean? I'm not dismissing him as a martial artist or anything like that, but I just feel like I have more skills than he has. I think I have better striking skills, better grappling skills. You know what I mean? I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so I'm facing grapplers every day. I'm doing jiu-jitsu tournaments, competing against black belts, competing against high level lads. You know what I mean? So he's gonna have nothing from me that I haven't seen before already. Um, but yeah, I'm just gonna go in and do my thing, man. You know what I mean? I think no matter who they put in front of me, in my head, I'm gonna go in and go through them for a shortcut. You know what I mean? So that's my plan, to go in and just hit him hard, let him know he's in a fight, and try put him away within 2 rounds. I'm hoping that within 2 rounds anyway. It'd be nice to get another first round win, get straight back out, and then try to get back in again somewhere else. Then maybe in Europe. Then when PFL come to Europe. So yeah, he looks good, as I can say. Looks good, looks solid. But like I said, I'm sparring against top guys every day. I've challenged top guys in my pro career all the time, so I'm always up against tough competition. So it's nothing new to me. So I'm gonna go in, hit him hard early, let him know he's in a fight, and like I said, try put him away within 2 rounds. So I think it's doable. It's just a matter of me. Like I always say, I can talk as much shit as I want. I can say I'm gonna do this. I can say I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put in the work. I'm gonna prepare, and on the night, everyone will see that the shit that I talk it's all worthwhile when I back it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the best, man. You talk the shit and you go in there and do what you talk. You know what I mean? That's if you could do that in fighting, you know what happens in the world of fighting. If you could do that, you blow up into a superstar.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And I'm gonna get there one step at a time, man. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? But the more people get attention on me, the more people notice me. You know what I mean? That like, it's gonna make me want to perform more. It's gonna make me want to entertain more. And once I have that bit of spotlight, I'm gonna make
Mhm.
sure I keep it, and give the fans something that they want to see. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Where are you splitting your time for training camp? You're probably right in the middle of it right now.
Yeah, I'll just train in Ireland all the time. In SBG, we train every day, grapple every day. Mix up with a bit of striking then in the meantime as well, through in the evenings and stuff like that. I'm working with a good boxing coach and stuff like that. So yeah, look, we have a 24/7 approach really, so I don't really stop training at all, even after fights. We're out of the cage, maybe take a week or two off, calm down a bit, and then straight back in again. We don't really like I don't really do camps per se. It's just a consistent year of training to develop, to improve, to just keep leveling up and leveling up. So whenever the time comes, if a short notice fight comes, we're always ready. We're always within about bit of weight cutting distance. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll just train all the time, SBG, and do a bit of striking, with a boxing coach as well. So I'm getting tough spars every day. So I wouldn't be looking to change that. And I'll obviously head over to Florida then. I'm not going over early. I'm just gonna go over like the basically the week before. Get myself over there. Because it's the work is already done by that point. It's just about getting a little sweat going and all that jazz. So I'll when I'm over there, then I'll focus on, and then by the time the Challenger series comes, I'll be ready to go through this fella.
Yeah, how massive is that PFL? They're doing their thing over in Europe now, man. They had the European series, and I think it's huge for the talent. You know what I mean? Because you don't really have that many major promotions out there signing young talent. They're kind of taking like established talent most of the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's huge for you guys, like you yourself, a prospect.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. It's nice to know that they're out there looking. You know what I mean? I'll uh, I'll eventually have a solid fan base in Europe, so much that now when I can eventually start like packing out arenas and stuff like that. That's kind of the dream for me. So for PFL to give me that chance and sign me up and give me and let me show what I have to prove. You know what I mean? That's what I want to do, and one step at a time we're gonna do it, man. Like I said, I'm grateful for the opportunities that they're giving me. I'm grateful that they're happy to have me a part of the team, and they treat me very well. They're pushing me a lot, and you know what I mean. That I feel like they really respect me, and I respect them. So it's great to work with someone like that, because you know what I mean. The energy reciprocates, and you just know that you're a part of like a family essentially. You know what I mean?
You could go from being a prospect to a millionaire in 10 months. You know what I mean? There's nowhere you can
Yeah,
do that in fighting right
I
now,
know.
except for the PFL.
It's brilliant, man. That keeps me motivated. I remember my coach John Kavanagh, he told me about the chance for PFL, and I was like, John, I'm coming to win this million. There's no other way about it. Like, I know I'm only like a little rookie at the minute in terms of PFL, but I'm coming to win that million, guaranteed. And John was like, I know you are, like, because he knows who I am, you know what I mean? But like, then I was talking to Ray Seppo and Greg and stuff like that, and I was like, lads, I know I'm only in here on a wet day, and I'm only lacing up the boots, but there's no way in hell that I'm not coming to win that million. You know what I mean? I don't care how long it takes me. That's all I have my eyes set on. You know what I mean? And I will make history. I will be the first person from Ireland to win that million. And I guarantee you, I just need to keep fighting, keep putting lads away, and like I said, keep doing what I'm doing and enjoying the process of it.
There you go, man. March 3rd, man. You get your start. Well, you already got your start last summer, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get your start in this year. PFL Challenger Series. Go to descriptions. Download the AllStar app. Nathan Kelly, thank you, man, so much for the time and all the best, man.
Thanks very much for having me on. I really appreciate
For
it.
sure, man. For sure.